Captors is one of those stories that I really wasn't aware of. And when I read it, I had that feeling that I felt like I should be aware of it, that it was this piece of world history that I just didn't know about. I knew who Adolf Eichmann was, but I didn't know about his capture in Argentina in 1960. The story took place only 15 years from the Holocaust, and these guards were people who had lost family in the Holocaust, and here they had, in a private place where no one could find them, the man who was the architect of the concentration camps and who was the person who ran this very smooth death machine, and they couldn't kill him. And they had to hang on to Eichmann and try to get him out of the country so that he could stand trial. And they could have failed. They could have been captured. The whole thing could have fallen apart. And wouldn't it have been so much easier just to put a bullet in his head? And completely understandable. In addition to being an incredibly important chapter in world history, it's also of startlingly compelling drama and story. Malkin was the guy who was supposed to be guarding Eichmann and watching Eichmann, but he couldn't talk to him. And there was another guy who was the interrogator who was there to try to get a confession out of Eichmann. What happened was when the interrogator would leave, Eichmann would talk to Malkin. And Eichmann, who was a genius, got Malkin to speak to him. And then Malkin realized as he was speaking with Eichmann that he could get the confession out of Eichmann, he could get the signature that was necessary out of Eichmann, and the house, the safe house that Eichmann was being kept in, turned into this real pressure cooker, because Malkin could have been found guilty of treason by breaking that order and talking to Eichmann, but it was precisely that decision to not follow orders that got the confession out of Eichmann. And that was a very strong tension, because of course Eichmann and all these Nazi war criminals, their defense was, we were just following orders, we were just following orders. And so for Malkin to achieve this by breaking the orders, by not following the orders, I think is a really profound thing. As I was talking with the playwright, with Evan, about the play, I started to imagine what would it be like today for a family who perhaps had a relation who was a victim of 9/11, who had died in the World Trade Center. What would it mean for that person to have been the person to go into Pakistan and find Osama bin Laden and have to hold on to him for 10 days? And it just, the story emotionally, what was going on for those men just hit me in such a profound way, and I realized this is an incredibly important story for us to be telling, and I'm so proud that the Huntington is the theater that's premiering this play. And so I hope audiences will join us for Captors and for the rest of the 30th anniversary season.